Morning, Skippy.
Wow, I look really pale.
Haven't seen the light in days. So here's what we got going outside.
Oh, a little more of the white stuff, huh?
That's all in the last about half an hour.
Oh,
We had a little blizzard.
a lot more of the white stuff.
Yeah.
Good.
It's still coming down. It's kind of weird.
Well, you know.
I thought we were supposed to have rain today.
I mean, we're supposed to have whatever they want. It's not.
It's 33 degrees out. Oh well. Yeah. Good morning, Skippy.
I thought we already did that. Good morning, Josh.
We did? Oh, I don't remember. Oh, okay.
Don't remember what I did 20 minutes ago.
I don't. It's we're officially in food truck season, so I don't know anything anymore.
Food truck season. Woot, woot.
That's it. That's all the song you got.
I don't want to give you all my secrets.
No. Well, I mean, it's been 2 years. We could have one secret, maybe. Good morning, Nash 98.1. I'm hoping that's a radio station. Come on.
Oh, give us a shout out. Come on.
Out of Nashville, Nash 98.1.
It's got to be Nashville.
Playing the hits.
It's probably Nashville, Michigan.
Oh.
Oh boy. Anyway, so food truck season has come and gone.
That's it. We're done.
I should say, sorry. Week one has come and gone.
I've had all I can take, and I can't take no more.
Josh actually has something to talk about today.
Oh my God. I have enough stuff that I had to take notes and make a list, so I didn't forget anything.
You'll still forget something.
I will, 100%.
All the time with the list.
Well, there was a lot new for us this week.
There was a lot. You had the TikTok going.
We got a new trailer. We got TikTok live stream going.
You don't have a new trailer.
Well, newish.
You have a refab trailer.
Okay. Fine.
How's that awning doing?
I don't know. Still on. We haven't rolled it out in 2 years.
Cheers. It's the
Cheers.
World's strongest soda.
The world's strongest soda?
Inside joke.
Oh, okay. Fresca, the strong soda.
No, I meant the world's strongest man, Mark Henry, who's a WWE guy, and I shared a Fresca with it. We called it the world's strongest Fresca.
Gotcha. I understand now completely.
Don't judge.
Yeah, so the refab trailer with a new layout inside for most of our, not most of our equipment, but at least all the other stuff. We had new staff. We have employees, 2 new employees. We doubled the staff size this year. Almost. I mean,
I saw the gentleman, the early morning gentleman.
Yes, Troy.
I believe you have a nice lady as well.
Felicia. Yep.
Oh, that's right. Bye, Felicia. Every time she clocks out, bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia. We ran some new specials. We have new menu items. It was a whirlwind of activity, new locations, so much to talk about.
And
how's your week?
Cooked in stainless steel pans.
Yeah, new cooking methods, altered cooking methods through halfway through the week, which we're going to talk about physics at some point in time today. Physics. It's a weird thing. You want to know why you can give a brisket, the same size brisket, same everything, to 2 different people, and it's going to turn out way differently? It's just
physics.
It all makes, well,
I don't know. I was going with what you said.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that made the difference in our cook from the start of the week to the end of the week is the dumbest thing ever. So
you open the exhaust.
No. Did I talk to you early in the week about how long stuff was taking to cook?
No, you just said that don't cook in pans or something like that.
All right. So the way we started the week.
Hold on. What are we starting with?
I don't know. Let's. I got so much, dude. Let's start with you because I wanted to get through your stuff uninterrupted, and I want to make sure we have time for it. because the rest of the show is going to be all Josh all the time, the way we like it. Skip's been talking all winter.
Yeah, maybe we'll get some of our places back. I don't know. We were dead all week. We were dead.
It was not busy. No, not even a little bit.
No, it was. So I just did the report. If it wasn't for the food truck, we'd be down like 25% for the month. Like the shop is down 25% itself without food truck.
Is that just month to month or?
Yeah, month over month.
Okay.
So it's still. I mean, we're still doing. With the food truck, we're still on track for 25 to 28. I mean,
okay.
So it's still the total monetary value is still there, but the shop is the
shop. Is the shop? I'm going to try very hard to stop calling it the cafe because you call it the shop, right?
Yeah, that's just.
So you have the barbecue shop and the barbecue truck.
Correct.
Okay. Just want to make sure. I'm having a hard time getting cafe out of my head because of the cafe that you are in. But anyways, so did the shop hit your $500 a day for the week? So did you get your $2,500 for the week on the shop?
I believe the answer was barely. Please hold. I'll tell you right now.
Okay. You have those separated as two different locations, right?
Correct. But the problem is all the invoices for catering come to the shop. So I got to take that out. So bear with me a second. Which I think.
While you're looking, I'm going to talk about that real quick. So we've talked about me looking at my brick and mortar situation potentially, and I've been thinking a lot about how we're going to work that. So where does catering go through? Which part of the business?
The invoices,
as far as squares.
The invoices go to. So like I had just my one location. Everything transferred everything hit off that one location.
Yep.
I renamed that one location the barbecue shop, and I added the trailer as a second location.
Yep.
So all the
good morning, Steve.
Will still go through technically the original location or the barbecue.
Right. So I was thinking about doing even a third location just for catering. So it's Sweet Rex Smoking Butts Catering.
I thought about it because. Like when I go to.
Hi, Betsy.
Yeah, I thought about it. For the answer to your question was yes. We hit our $500 goal. So the goal is still there.
Yeah, just less than last week, and yeah.
Well, this week was completely different. As in, we had monster lunches. Like I'm not gonna say monster like thousands of dollars. But our average lunch really had only been a few $100, and then we picked up at dinner time. Well, this week was a complete opposite. We had $600 lunches and like $300 dinners.
Okay.
As of April 2nd, which is a Wednesday, we're going to stay up until 8 because it's nice and light outside now. So I'm hoping that will help.
Okay.
But other than that, we had a catering on Thursday. They couldn't wait for us to leave so they could leave a 5-star review, which I definitely appreciate. Our Google reviews have been off the hook. I did a post about them a little bit ago. I'm humbled by all the people that leave reviews. Thank you for. I think reviews are great. So we did about a $6,500 a week with that $2,200 catering.
And that's shop and trailer.
Correct. Yeah, there was not much. Well, if I count Sunday to Saturday, it was like $8K because we had an event Sunday. But
yeah, and that's your week. So Sunday through Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you did an $8,000 week. Good job. Yeah. Nice job, bud.
Yeah, our wedding, our special event tasting bombed. Well, it didn't bomb. It bombed to the point where I no longer trust at all Facebook events.
You can't.
Yeah. Definitely should have done pre-orders or tickets or whatever. Of course, I didn't plan it well where I was running late just to set it up in the first place. That type of person.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Threw away a lot of food.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of food. I mean,
so, okay, let's talk about your Facebook event. How many people did you have as interested or attended?
323.
Okay. How many people did you cook for? Please don't say 323. Hi, Kayla.
A third, 100.
Okay. And you had how many?
11.
Okay. So you had a little bit of food left.
Yeah, I basically just sent them all home with big ass to-go boxes.
Yeah. Okay.
One party. So they were all three, or except for one. So there were three-person parties, and one 2-person party.
So 4 total parties.
Correct.
So there was 4 available catering opportunities.
And I booked 3 of them.
Okay.
So which is fine. I'm
good size events.
The long game works. The long game is working. It's just
right. You were hoping, yeah, I know. So were those good size events though?
What's that?
Good size events though?
Yeah. One's a wedding for 100. The other one's a grad party for 125, and the other one's a small like pickup catering for like 30.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, you split your cost of the food between the 3, and you're not too bad.
Every single one of those parties showed up exactly at 6 o'clock.
So you were pretty bored at 6:30.
Yeah. So labor that day. So I'm really starting to keep track of labor. Labor that day was like 28%.
I mean, we'll get into my labor costs for this week. I'm scared for this year. Couple questions from the YouTube.
Oh boy.
From Mr. Rodriguez. Are these going to be separate entities? And that's for both of us. I'll let you go ahead and answer first. He said, I'm thinking about even a third holding entity for capital equipment, i.e. trailer. So he's talking about your shop and your trailer.
It is all under one. It's just different locations.
Yeah.
So we're not splitting it into like 2 different LLCs or 2 different DBAs or whatever. It's under one. Our POS system, you can do separate locations, and that way I know that the trailer is making X amount of dollars, producing X amount of dollars. The shop is producing X amount of dollars.
Yep.
I want both electors combined.
Excuse me. For us, we might split the catering off into its own business. It'll all be under the one umbrella, which we're working on currently, because we have some other business thoughts that are not necessarily food related. So yeah, we might do it that way, but yeah, if we get to 2 spots, it'll be the same thing. It'll be all under Sweet Rack Smoking Butts, just with 2 different 3-4 locations at this point, unless it's completely different concept, and at which point we would split it off. But yeah, right now we're leaning towards something like Hance Hospitality and Events or something like that as the umbrella company and have everything else underneath it.
You're gonna do enhanced?
No, I'm not.
I love that. That was like my favorite switch.
It was my least favorite thing in the world. Frickin' churches.
For non-longtime listeners, Josh once did a contest at a church, and the church has boosters or whatever that doesn't like sweet racks or smoking butts. So they asked Josh kindly either change your name or leave.
Yeah. It wasn't leave, or it was not come.
Yeah. So Josh, last name is Hance. He did enhanced barbecue, which I thought was pretty good. Like, it was good. It was a good name.
Pam says one company with multiple departments.
Yes. Pam can be in charge of accounting. Accounting department.
I'll get her number posted for everybody. You can call Pam with all your questions and legal expert legal advice.
She is a small town bird lawyer.
Small town burglar.
Bird lawyer.
You come to Hudsonville at all? Where's Allendale the closest you come to Hudsonville? Hold on. Let me comment on this bad boy.
Oh, boy.
You know, we get so many comments. Are you guys ever in Hudsonville? And every time we set up in Hudsonville, no one freaking comes. Sorry, guys. Farms.
Blah, blah, blah.
Fairly regular. What's your week this week look like? Sorry for the dead air, everybody.
Oh, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked. Nothing.
You're closing it all?
No, we have a food truck lunch on Friday, and then we actually, I don't want to tell you about Saturday because you're just going to look at me like I'm got steaming turds.
Oh, God. Are you doing an event where you're doing a whole new menu again?
No, God, no. We're done. We're done with that. We're done.
Pam says, no. Oh.
We are shutting the shop down for a day.
A whole day? Why?
Because I committed to a long-standing barbecue contest that I'm going to.
Oh. The Spring Fling?
No, that one's next month.
Hmm.
No, the Spring Fling is that's in April. No, this is the March Madness one that I've won the last couple times, and my one person that normally runs the shop on Saturday forgot to update her availability and is no longer able to work.
Oh,
so
bummer.
It is what it is.
Hmm.
But since
I got kicked out of Great Lakes Barbecue Association.
It is sponsored by them. It is.
I'm no longer a member.
Why? You didn't do your thing?
Because I didn't pay my dues.
Well,
I really just wanted to let it lapse so I could do a renewal and get another sticker because my other one disintegrated.
Here's what I can tell you is our treasurer Bruce is currently in the hospital.
Oh no.
He had a mild heart attack. So if you want to say hi to Bruce Bissonette.
Hi Bruce.
Wishing you the best, buddy. No, I already said I was going and I already paid the fee, so I'm like, fuck it, I'll take a day off. And as of that next Wednesday, we're gonna stay open later. So we'll use it as a day to make sure
Justin Harris said that people can call him with any legal advice. He likes to talk anything food truck. Said I'll probably have no answer, but we can talk through it.
That's fair enough. I appreciate it. Thank you for putting your.
I'm also getting that you sound a little muted today.
Oh, do I? Oh, please.
Yeah. So Miss, can we turn up your microphone, or is it all the way up already?
I mean,
I'm showing yours is up all the way.
Pretty much up.
It's probably just in relation to mine.
Pretty much up. Here we go. Oh, just go.
Yeah.
Here.
Is that better?
Can I just do this? Hey.
Gross. Gross.
I don't want to do that to myself. The last thing I do want to mention before you go into your life, Starlink Mini.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been to any areas where your square's not working because?
Is this a paid promo?
No.
Should it be?
No.
Okay.
I wish.
Elon, if you're listening.
No, I listened to a podcast where they actually installed a Starlink Mini on top of their food truck and just wired it in.
Yep.
And he said that anywhere where he's gone, where he's had sketchy service for his tow system, he said perfect service with Starlink. So
Okay.
it's 300, according to Starlink.com, it's $350 for the kit. I don't know what it is per month. I haven't really looked at it, but I thought it'd be pretty kind of cool thing we should research and get back to the people. Because
you should research.
Lately,
Yes.
I'm seeing a lot of our systems like don't cover, like our service is just horrible lately, like worse than it's ever been even at the same location where we've had good service. So
Yeah, I think a lot of that is the continuous upgrade to 5G. I'm over here, most of that is done, at least in most of the areas that we are. So, but with the upgrade to 5G, yeah, you get a lot of service interruptions. And a lot of time you'll notice that the old 4G, 3G stuff, the signal will degrade as they're doing upgrades and stuff. So yeah, I 100% believe that. For the most part, we're okay. I mean, Square doesn't use that much data, so as long as you don't have anything else really going through it, the packets are small enough that you don't need a whole lot for it to go through, typically. So I would just keep an eye on if your cell phone's connected to it or somebody else's cell phone's connected to it. So it's sharing the data. Yeah. But on our Verizon Jetpack, the only thing that runs off that is our Square. So those transactions, and then our SMRL, which again are super small little packets. We're not doing any sort of real data transfer unless Square has an update. As far as our TikTok stream, all that goes off a separate hotspot, and that one's through AT&T, which we don't have as great of AT&T service in this area as we do Verizon. So we've had a couple spots historically where AT&T gets a little weak. Justin says Easy Eats tells them to use 4G. All right. So maybe that's key. So yeah, that's probably a lot of the problem is this whole upgrade process. Anyways, so yeah, I just got them on Amazon a couple days ago. I have yet to install them, but on our jetpacks, our hotspot, there is actually a space for external antenna. So off Amazon, it was $30. You get two of them. You put them 22 inches apart.
Gotcha.
And it's supposed to boost the signal. Hoping that works for those spots. Because really, the only thing it's affecting though is our TikTok stream, which is, yeah. Justin says it was a little shaky at times. Yeah, that's why, because we had lots of times where it'd drop and reconnect every couple seconds. So we're hoping that'll be better. But largely, TikTok stream was very well received. A lot more activity than I expected from people hanging out and watching. We had people on that thing for hours consecutively,
Really?
Which I appreciate everybody, but man, get a life.
As long as you continue to watch.
I'm hoping you're not just watching it, like it's like background noise for you, which I could understand. But yeah, it's unfortunately though. During our busiest times, we have a hard time responding to people, just because we're busy doing stuff. But yeah, TikTok's been great. We've increased, I think, 15 or something like that, 15 or 20 followers this week, just off the live streams. A handful of those have been in the wee hours of our morning. You'd be shocked at how many people will hop on at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, I was on at 3 the other morning, Thursday, I think, and someone pops up, starts asking questions, and he's from Oregon and couldn't sleep. Followed the link, so it was we were just hitting dinner service or something like that, and he hopped back on, and I said, I'm glad that you've gotten the full 8 hours of sleep and have had some other time to do something. I said, I've been here the whole time. Which is kind of sad when you think about it. Like, In the time that I've been working today, this person's had a full 8 hours of sleep and still 4 hours, and I'm still here. But yeah, it was fun talking to that guy, and we've had some people from other states chime in. Lots of questions being asked, which is cool about the trailer and stuff. So, yeah, hoping that keeps going well. We are getting gifts on our stream.
Ooh.
You want to know how much money we've earned?
32 cents.
6
6
cents. Yep.
Well, there you go.
By this time in the year 2250, we might retire. All right, but enough with TikTok. Let's get into what the people really want to know about. We opened. It was so good to be back.
Was it?
Yeah, it was. Once we got past the first couple days, yeah, it was good to be back. All right, let's start with sales, then we get into all the other stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot to unpack this week. So hopefully we can get through it all. I will do my best to not drag on too much.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Absolutely, yes.
What's Immaculate Flight?
So weird. So it's actually they have multiple locations across the country. They do detail cleaning of planes, like private jets and stuff. So just like you would take your car to go get detailed, they do it for rich people planes.
Gotcha.
A much bigger staff there than I ever expected that would be needed for, because they're not doing the plane cleaning there. They have a little hangar over at the airport.
Yeah.
But they got a staff of like 30 to 40 people in that building, which surprises me. I would assume it's mostly sales, but I don't know. Yeah, cool little place. Anyways.
Anyway, go ahead.
Sales for the week. Currently for the month of March, from this March to last March, we are currently down 28%. Month to date.
Well, you opened a week later.
We opened a week later, so the fact that we're only down 27% is pretty good. Because we started it, I think it was like $11,000 in the hole from last March, or something like that. Tuesday. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Oh my gosh, excuse me. So Tuesday, yeah, old standby Dutton, the Great Lakes Insurance place. Man, did I send you that screenshot from lunch that day for sales?
Maybe.
We did from 11 to 2, $1,900.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Finished the day at 2,500 and 2,513. That parking lot was so full, people were parking in the grass along the driveway. There's not a ton of parking spots there, so I don't want to make it sound like there were 60 cars parked there.
Yeah.
But it's never been anywhere near that busy there. $1,000 lunch is good there. So for us to roll out a 1,900, and it was a ton of new people that have never been to the truck before, which is curious. Yeah, I mean, because we saw all the regulars that we expected to see. But yeah, it was probably half and half. Half those people that came had never been to us before. Chris was asking a lot of them how they heard about us. A lot of them said they saw it on Facebook, saw the event on Facebook, because we started to create events again.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's going to be the trend going forward, that going to start putting some weight behind the events, I guess, and see what happens. So yeah, we did 2,500 that first day. Wednesday, we were set up roadside and excuse me. Yeah, we did roadside and catering that day. We were the buttholes for the day, unfortunately. Yes, we were the buttholes.
What does that mean?
I rolled in to drop off this catering order, and there was a food truck there selling food for lunch.
Oh.
Good friends of ours, too. So that's
happened to me before.
Well, it happens to us all the time, where you see like 18 bags of Panera go walking in the door. I'm like, what the fuck? So I know the feeling. So I was in Chris's car, so I just snuck around to the back. But as I'm getting done dropping off food, it's like kind of some French fries sound really, really good, but I can't go out there. Like, I don't want to go out there. Like when I'm just in the area, I had to pay a parking ticket. Could have had that actually, it would probably were okay. But yeah.
Hey, you're here. I would never known.
What a weird. Yeah.
Josh, aren't you supposed to be working right now?
I got staff for that now. So yeah, we did one of our Corwell offices we did for lunch, and again, it was, I mean, yeah, we over $1,000 lunches all week. I think for the most part. So yeah, really good. The subdivision that evening was a little light, lighter than we would have expected, but still not bad. I think we did $700-800 for the evening shift. Thursday was the slow day. This one really shocked us. So Fillmore Complex, which is where we did the catering the day before. Sorry.
I just heard a beep, kind of.
Yeah. It's, I'm hearing, I guess it was a drill or something, or a truck back up. Excuse me. So yeah, Thursday we were at the Film Market, which is where we did the catering the day before, which was okay. I'm gonna actually pull up that day because I'm not 100% positive how that broke out. No transactions. Huh?
Maybe you weren't out that day.
Wrong week. Yeah, I mean, it was meh. So yeah, we did $600 for dinner. So we actually were better for lunch, I mean. And then did $850 for dinner. But at a subdivision that is usually a solid $1,000 a trip subdivision. So we're kind of banking on that. Still did 15 for the day, but after you're doing $1,800, $1,900 lunches, a $1,500 day feels pretty slow.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And that's what Chris told me on Wednesday when they did the $1,000 lunch, the $900 lunch. It's like, I said, how's it going? He said, oh, it's so slow out here. So you realize you're doing a really solid lunch for the location you're at historically. So yeah, and then Friday, lunch only at Immaculate Flight. Location is prime spot for a lot of our regular customers in that area. Train, who we do a lot of catering for, we had a lot of their employees when we were at Wiseman because it's pretty close. Now they are directly across the parking lot.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it was a no-brainer. Tesla, which we've done some catering for, we get a lot of their staff too. So it's just a 1/10 of a mile down the road. Definitely walking distance when the weather's nice. So that looks like it's going to be good. We want to drop some flyers at some of the other businesses in that business park. And then I think once we get to warmer weather where people are, it was pretty cold and windy most of the week. So the week could have gone way different. But yeah, it was, we did 1,000 on that day too. So we had 0 days where we were less than 1,000, which is good. Friday was 1,042. We just snuck it in. And then Saturday. Saturday. So we had planned on about a $3,000 day for Saturday. We did $2,000.
What was so special about Saturday?
So we were in Newaygo for lunch, our first trip to Newaygo, obviously, and then we were at a pretty popular bar for dinner. Food trucks frequent there. I've talked to these food truck friends that have gone there. Everybody praises it. It's really good. So yeah, we had kind of planned on doing 2,000 to 2,200 for lunch, and then hopefully do a moderate dinner there our first time out. The Newaygo number was based on last year's Newaygo number. So yeah, we did 19 there in Newaygo last year for our day. So we figured 3 was a reachable goal. We opened right on time. No early sales at Newaygo. In the first 35 minutes, Chris had rang through $1,200 in orders. And there was still a line. Yeah. Well, you ask how it went for the guy making the food.
Hurry up.
Yeah. Yeah. At one point in time, ticket times reached about 40 minutes.
Excuse me?
Yeah, you heard me right. 40 minutes after order. Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
Well, when Chris is just rolling through $1,200 of food in 30 minutes.
I mean, I guess.
And then he was still taking orders. Yeah, there was a lot of big orders, and it wasn't just all meat by the pound. It was lots of loaded macs and lots of sandwiches and lots of everything. Yeah, and just big. During lunch, no. We had full menu going into dinner outside of rib tips. So, which is what we had planned. We had extra mac and cheese. We had extra everything. So yeah, we did. Lunch ended up being, I think, 2,100 or something like that, or just over 2,000. I think. I don't think we hit 21. So just at 2,000. We roll into dinner. Again, forecast wasn't awesome for Saturday night. We were expecting rain to roll in early afternoon. It was super windy and not very warm. No. We pull in, there's not a cloud in the sky. But again, I think the air temperature was, I think we were at 31. And then, 30 mile an hour winds gusts all day. And we're right on the lake, so it's whipping across. So yeah, it was cold. Chris said the bar was pretty hopping most of the night. We had talked to the owner when we got there. He's like, yep, as soon as you guys get a following, he says, you guys will have lines as long as the food's good. Yeah. Which, I mean, we're confident in our food. But he said it generally will take a time or two for people for word to get around about the food. So yeah, it was, I think $300 there for the night from 4 to 8. There was a $14 hour in there, but it wasn't a zero.
Wasn't a zero.
So we have, I think, 20 more times there this year, including this coming up Saturday. So we're gonna boost that event just for that area. Invited some friends that live in the area to the event. Hitting interested in events makes a huge difference. So yeah, I would recommend those that are doing events for their food trucks. Make sure that you are hitting or having your friends invite them to the event, because it hits so many more people that way. Justin, we were asked to come early to an event Saturday at 9 a.m. We brought breakfast things to sell. Everyone had Dunkin' and McDonald's bags. Didn't have an order until almost 11. Yeah, I will not. So we've been asked to show up early to events, and we have, but I am not doing a different menu for them. If people want barbecue, fine. And we plan on not selling a whole lot from those hours, but we tell them, yep, we'll be open, but yeah, we're not going to sell extra food. Emily Lewis following up. You have never talked to me before, Emily Lewis, so you can't follow up on something that never occurred. Nice try, Satan. Not today. She wants financing options. Following up on my previous email about financing options that we discussed. We never discussed anything. So yeah. And then Sunday we went back to Dutton, Great Lakes Insurance. This one was an iffy one for me to schedule. The thought process was the farm that we have done in the past on weekends, which is south of this town, was always a big draw for the people to come. A lot of people that can't come to get to us during the week in that area would come to the farm and get food. Yeah. They would come to the farm just for us, a lot of them. So we thought, well, maybe we can do another weekend day kind of in the area and have that same draw. But we weren't. I was not 100% sold on it. We cooked pretty light for the day. Lightish. We had 2 briskets, 3 pork butts. We were light on mac and cheese. Just croissants and hot chocolate, like a $12 investment. Okay. Excuse me. And yeah, it was a good day. Did 1170. I think for sure that should be a $1,300 to $1,400 location. We ran out of brisket pretty early and mac and cheese pretty early. Chris said he had a lot of people walk up and walk away because we didn't have mac and cheese. He said if we would have had the mac and cheese, there's at least another 100 to 150 just from that that we lost out. Yeah. So yeah, we'll load up a little bit more for next weekend and see how it goes. But I mean, we were only doing 600 to 800 a Sunday at Trail Point out there.
Yeah.
So I'll take the extra 500 a day on those days that we're there. So yeah, I mean that's $10,000 a year. So on average, so we'll 100% take that. So yeah, all in all, it was a good week. We did so the 6-day stretch, Tuesday through Sunday, $12,203. So not bad.
Fair.
That's moderately fair. Yeah. We will not. I don't expect for us to be able to reach last year March at 27,242, which means we'd have to do 15,000 this week. I don't know that I would prepare that much food. So yeah, I'm sure it would be nice. But yeah, I don't foresee it happening. If we can match this week and get to 24, I'll be pretty happy rolling into April at that point. So, but yeah, we've got a lot of catering requests this week. Lots of open house requests, a couple wedding requests. Yeah. So yeah. I got to talk about that too. So at the beginning of the week, we went back with online ordering. We didn't have it open for Tuesday because we did expect it to be pretty busy, and we're still settling into everything. We have lots of stuff in new places. We figured we'd be a little bit slower. But yeah, for Tuesday, we turned it on, go in, set our location. And I don't know if something changed in Square where things weren't linked or are linked. But in our fulfillment section, I have always been like the location name for, which is now 2 different things. So it linked it to our actual business name, which you can only change 3 times in 12 months.
Really?
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
Oops.
So after the first day of online ordering, I get an invoice back. So I sent somebody an invoice and it was, I got the email that says paid or whatever. And it says Fillmore Complex on it. Our name's off it altogether because it changed the frickin' business name.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you did that. Oh.
No, I did not. I only changed it in the fulfillment center.
It did that.
Yeah. And it's stuck there.
Oh.
Because I changed it once for when we did and I always do when we do the Super Bowl orders, because I change it for Chris and I to Egg Chef, so it says, Hudsonville or Bailey. So by the time we did an online order once, they got locked in. And on the bottom of that, whereas if you go into your business name, it says where you can only change it 3 times. It doesn't say that on the fulfillment side that those 2 are linked. Anyways, but it also says, if you need this to be overridden, please contact support. I'm like, all right, no problem. I contact support. I don't know if you remember my last interaction with support about my invoice that I accidentally refunded and it was still showing up. Okay, that went well too.
That went great.
45 minutes. The first 15 was the support person telling me it was not possible. And I'm just using the chat function on this. Over the next half an hour with this person who told me that this was impossible, I sent probably 25 screenshots of various spots in the system, including the spot where it says, if you need this overridden, please contact support. I sent them to that screenshot once, and they said, it's sorry, sir, but we just cannot do it. It's not possible in the system. So then I highlighted and circled the line that says, if you need this overridden, and send it back. And then I get, give me just a minute. And then he has me go into other places in the system where that name doesn't exist to change things that aren't there. So I'm trying to be articulate very well, which then results in me sending a flourish of screenshots of the step-by-step of where he wanted me to go. I was this close to telling him, never mind, I'm going to toast. I said, this is absolutely absurd that you can't understand the things I'm showing you in the system, that you can't see those while you're also looking at the exact same system. It is absurd that this is this difficult. So at the end of the day, it takes 1 to 2 business days to make the change. Today would be business day number 1. I have not looked. This was all on Friday by the time we figured out what the problem was. Because we thought it was really cool at first. Because when I changed it the first time, it showed up on our credit card reader, the customer facing side, which should have been the red flag for me that something was amiss, but maybe it was an update, you know? Yeah. Because shit updates, and we don't always know what's all in the update. So yeah, we had that going on this week.
Are you okay? That's...
So I have not sent out another invoice, and I have like 6 that I need to send out for people that want to book and pay deposits. But I'm not going to send them out if they don't say our business name on them.
Speaking of business names, I was finally able to figure out how to get into branding and changing put my logo on my receipts.
Oh, you got it?
Yes.
Okay. I had Chris print me a receipt on Tuesday. I said, "Can you print me a receipt?" For sure, yeah, it was on there.
Why can't you put a QR code on there?
You could.
Oh, I thought that's what you were talking about. You couldn't put a QR code.
You can't do both.
Oh. So
it would just be the QR code. And we don't want to print a receipt for every order.
True.
Because of paper.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but maybe we'll have to if we want to go that route. So, so yeah, that was that. The big story in the off season was we were swapping out disposable pans that we cook in.
Yeah.
For all stainless aluminum-ish pans and I wanted to do racks in the bottom to elevate the meat a little bit, better smoke penetration, better bark creation.
Sure.
Which works. I think it's a fantastic product. Definitely more smoke involved, definitely more bark involved. However.
Yeah, there's probably a big however there.
There's a big however.
It probably took about 3 hours longer. Really? More than that, huh?
Yeah. So yeah, when we get out to the trailer Tuesday morning.
Because those big ass pans, those metal pans act like a heat deflector almost. It shouldn't.
Sure, but they're no different than the other pans.
No, they are. They're thinner or they're thicker.
Right, but you still, as long as you have the air movement, the airflow is all still there. It's still ambient heat. Anyways. Yeah, it took a whole lot longer. Nothing was done when we started temping meat, and I'm talking 165 at best for everything.
Okay.
So
I can just hear your employees are like, "We're gonna fucking wash these things afterwards."
we're getting to that part.
Oh.
This is just this has been a whole week of complaints from the whole staff, including myself.
Please, this is great.
So yeah, I mean, I think pork butts were finally done 5 o'clock. Briskets were all off at 8 the first day. Day 2, because you know what? All right, maybe it was just a weird night, a weird cook. Sometimes shit just takes longer,
Sure,
right?
absolutely.
So we changed nothing going into day 2 because we need good numbers to figure out if there is a problem or not before I just go crazy and start changing everything. Day 2 was worse. Day 2 was worse. So yeah, I think the last brisket came off after 9 o'clock on Wednesday. That's not good. That's no bueno.
No bueno.
No bueno. And I mean, we're doing it's like we have wings to do both. Like I need the space on the smoker to get everything on and off before lunch. This is why I get up so early, everybody. When you cook overnight and you have small meats to cook throughout the day, everything is very well orchestrated timing wise to be able to get everything done for lunch. And when shit doesn't get done, it's a problem.
I assume with your wings, you just throw them right in the racks, correct?
Yeah, we don't do those in pans. None of our chicken goes in pans.
So somebody showed me something that was kind of cool. Since you have flat racks and you can easily just pull them out, the stainless steel donut racks.
Okay.
2 of them side by side should fit on one shelf in your smoker. That way you can lay them, put some foil down, put them in those racks, and just take them, put them in there. Old Hickory also makes them too.
Donut racks?
Yeah, they're stainless steel donut racks.
Okay.
But I believe
I'm assuming it's something like, are you pulling it up?
Yeah.
Okay. Like a bakery rack type of thing almost. I'm guessing is what you're going to show me. I have one up and see if this is it. Maybe window. Something like this, Skippy?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Okay.
Those should help easily put them on, put them off.
No, really. I rub them all in a big pan. I get over to the rack and I just go like this and flick them and then spread them out. And then when it's time to wrap them, take the pan back out there. We put our hand in there. We just scoop them all into the pan. That works pretty good.
Old Hickory makes them.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 16 by 26 for like $18. But yeah, it's just.
So I mean, yeah. So Tuesday was chaos, and we had our new guy starting on Tuesday. So that was his first morning. I said, it's good that everything's behind. I'm glad that everything's not done, because then he got to feel through the various stages of the softness of the meats and stuff. Yeah. And I told him, I said, just so you know, tomorrow's not going to be any less chaotic, because we had the catering too that we had to prep food for. And that was we had so much more food on the smoker too, because we had the catering on top of everything else. But at that point I realized, I said, even with a full smoker, we shouldn't be taking 17 hours for a brisket.
Yeah.
Or whatever it was, a long time. So we started thinking through things. I started thinking through things like, okay, we need to make a change. I don't want to abandon this completely and just go back to disposable pans. So obviously, scientific method, you change one thing and see what changes. So my thought was, let's just pull the racks out and just go straight into the aluminum pans, because we know meat in pans works disposable wise, I used to cook in non-disposable pans when we first started and don't remember it taking an absurd amount of time longer. So let's start there.
Do you think it's your smoker?
That was also a thought, that there maybe is some sort of cloggage in the heat transfer tube that's not allowing heat to get all the way through and out, and we're not getting the same kind of temperature. Temperatures have been fine. It recovers the same way it always has. So that was lower on my list of possibilities, but it was definitely there in my head.
Yeah.
So the next night we cooked without the racks and everything was done perfectly right on time as I would expect it. And again, well, maybe it was just the night and we had less food on. So we ran it a second night. And yep, same way. Everything done when it was supposed to be done, everything on schedule. So the racks, that meat sitting that far off the bottom of the pans makes a difference. And here is why I think it does. Braising. Mm-hmm. So when you're on the bottom of the pan, first of all, when we had them on the racks, we got 1/10 of the juice that we did previously. So with the meat off, you're getting more evaporation, which is no good for me because we love that juice. Mm-hmm. The other part is with the meat in that fluid, you now have fluid at 212 degrees sitting an inch high on the meat, also helping to cook that meat. So not only do you have the air temperature, but you have the braising fluid, thus creating a quicker cook time. So it all makes sense. The racks are off the trailer, still cooking in those non-disposable pans. Other than that, they're great. Flavor's good. Nothing really changes there. The downsides, they take up more space because you can't nest 2 half pans inside of a full pan of those like you do with disposable pans. Mm-hmm. Just with the curvatures of the edges, it doesn't work. So they take up more space in our cabinet.
But that's okay though, right? I mean, how's it take up? It's not taking up more space.
Yeah, it does.
Oh,
because we can't put all the half pans in the full pans because they're too tall in the cabinet. So now we have to separate out half the half pans into a separate stack, which has to sit next to the full pans.
Oh, you're talking
whereas we could nest everything just inside full pans, like the half pans would fit in the full pans.
You're talking about storage.
Storage, yes.
Yes, okay. I thought you were talking about in your warmer.
No, in the smoker, in the warmer, everything is still the same there. Everything, except for those pans, do fit a little bit different, but it's not a huge deal. Storage was, we're still working through how we're setting everything up in the truck, but that's not bad. And the obvious one is the dishes. So not only are we not using disposable pans for meats, but same for mac and cheese. So now we're talking, we have 20 pans a day that need to be washed that we were not washing before. And it is overwhelming, 100% when you get back. And typically we only do dishes at dinner because we don't have enough water to run 4 sinks full of water and all the hand washing that we do and the cleaning that we do. So we always have only typically done dishes at night. So yeah, there's a good stack back there by the time you get there, you get to doing those, which means you also have that food that's now dried on a little bit. The stainless steel scrubbers work great though, eliminates a lot of the time. So if you can clean them well every time, they're going to come clean pretty easy. But it's just the extra time of cleaning all those dishes and then finding space to dry all those dishes. Mm-hmm. Unless you're going through with, and that's how they've been doing. We're doing it the first few days is with paper towel. To be able to create more room to fit dishes, you have to get stuff dried faster. Yeah. Which made I think they went through like 2 rolls of paper towel just doing dishes to get stuff dry so they can put it away.
So your hand wash sink, if I'm looking at the front of your trailer from the back door, so if I'm looking this way, your hand wash sink is to the right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that means your wash sink is right next to it, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, so you're backwards. So our wash sink is next to our sanitized sink. But yeah.
Oh, Did you know?
So if you're looking at the sink, you're off to the right. We wash from left to right.
You know, it's supposed to be the other way.
It's supposed to be.
So you're, according to what I've seen, your wash sink is supposed to be next to your hand sink because when your hand sink, if you're washing your hands and any splash gets in, it'll get into your sanitizing sink.
No, we have a guard. So we have guards on both sides of our sink
Mine doesn't.
to eliminate the.
Okay, so you're washing left to right, driver's side.
Yes.
Side.
Yes.
Okay. Is how much room is between your refrigerator and your wash?
Not enough for any sort of rack.
I was thinking like a drying rack or something.
Yeah, there's not a room. There's not room. We're gonna get a couple drying mats though for the counter because now we have an empty counter where we used to keep all our bags. Now our bags are up above the service window on the shelf. We don't move them anymore.
Yeah.
I've cut slits into all of our totes that we keep our bags in, so I can just reach up and pull out. So we have that whole counter that, for the most part, is empty, which everybody really loves. So we can put out some drying mats, put some dishes there to air dry a little bit while he's moving through. Bubba says 2 words: pan liners. I hate them. I absolutely hate pan liners. I hate them. I've never been a fan.
So you're you're processing your pork in its half pan,
mm-hmm.
and then you're just throwing that half pan in your steam tip.
Mm-hmm.
No liners, no nothing.
Correct. Okay. Well, we're throwing that into the warming cabinet, but
correct.
So what we have started to do, so we have now we put some deep half pans in the steam table. So now they're just emptying into those half pans. They work a little bit better. So then we can do, the other problem we had was foil, keeping those pans foiled because the corners are sharper. So as you're going in and out, it's harder to keep. So we want a deeper pan so we could get hard lids on them, actual steam table pans on them, or lids on them. Mm-hmm. So now that means that's actually a positive thing because we get a chance now to wipe out those half pans a little bit better, as long as we're not crazy busy. But you can clean those out. Back to pan liners. The problem we always had was like when I make mac and cheese and stuff, like with the pan liner, as I'm mixing it together, they would always rip. As we're scooping scoops of pulled pork out of them, we'd always have them rip. Always. I never had good luck with them. So yes, I mean, for me, if it's not going to save me from washing the pan, then why bother? You know, I'm just spending extra money to have something else to throw away. And especially with mac and cheese, it gets in all the creases, so you're not getting all the cheese back out. It's getting stuck in crevices in the liner, and it's because it's not a couple hours of dishwashing. It doesn't take us 2 extra hours to wash dishes. It's not like we're closing up and then we're leaving 2 hours after that. I mean, yes, Bubba, if it is super crazy busy, there may not be opportunity there to get all the dishes done at a time, but it's not extra hours of work. You know, the pans don't take that long to clean, especially if you can work on them as you're going through the night. And like I said, we had to wash every pan anyways, so
yeah.
You know, nothing is getting baked on to the extent that you're sitting there for 20 minutes on one pan getting it clean. So,
but that's why you hire people.
Yeah, give them the proper. There are 2 different brands of pan liners. I'm guessing you got the really weak ones. I have used them before and have had the same problems. You will get faster. We did. Yeah. That's the time spent on dishes towards the end of the week was far less than the time spent on the dishes at the beginning of the week. The stainless steel scrubbers are hugely better. Just because it just takes off anything that's potentially baked on. We may do pan liners for mac and cheese. We try it and see how it goes. That's the one pan that you can't wipe clean with a paper towel. The cheese sauce just smears. You can get a lot of it out, but you just get a smear of cheese on the bottom. Or like we just need to get a hard spatula so we can scrape it real quick before we put it at the sink. But But the mac and cheese pans have been the worst ones. They're worse than the meat ones, really. And I think that's partially because of the way we cook, because you have all the fluid in the pan, so nothing's baking on while it's in the smoker.
Correct.
Outside of just around the lips a little bit. So yeah, we'll get better. We'll get faster with it. Having a spot to set dishes to dry is going to help immensely, because we can fly through washing. The drying was the holdup for everybody.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we'll continue with it. It's working good.
Should get better.
Yep. We talked about Troy and Felicia. Troy was, you had messaged me, I think the first day, Tuesday, if he had showed up on time.
Yep.
And I was like, yep, 10-2, he was there. And he kind of settled into about 5 minutes too. It was his third day. I think it was the third day, maybe fourth day. I don't know. I think it was the first day I was going to have him do pretty much everything. So it must have been Friday. And I've been on the trailer, around the trailer, like 2:45. I'm getting water filled. So because it's so cold, I have to pull out a hose out of the garage, and it's a whole fiasco. So I'm kind of out and about ahead of time, waiting for him to come. I'm looking at my watch. It's 2:56, 2:58, 2:59. At this point, I'm like, well, it was a good run of 3 days. 3:01. Here come the headlights screaming down the road. He gets there. He's like, I'm so sorry. He said, I zoned out on the highway and I drove right by your exit. And I realized that as soon as I got past the on-ramp, so I had to go down to the next exit and turn around and come back. I was like, oh, don't worry about it. But no, he's solid. I have zero concerns about him showing up. And everybody's comfortable with pretty good communication. And, like I told him, I said, if you have an inkling that you're not feeling well the night before, just shoot me a text.
Yep.
That way I can be up. If you can still come in the morning, great. But at least that way I'm prepared. Yeah, I can set my alarm. I can be available. I can always go back to sleep.
So how many days did you personally go out?
Like for service?
Yeah.
I was on the trailer every day last week.
Okay.
Just at opening week. And we had so much different this week, like this year.
Sure.
Like I knew we were going to have hiccups, and I wanted to see and feel kind of the changes we made to see if we needed to make new changes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I was out on the trailer at almost every location for at least a little while. Plus being up at 2:30 in the morning for those other days.
So this week, are you gonna be up at
Justin says, get a scraper from Lowe's. Alfredo crust doesn't have a chance. Are you doing this like a paint scraper, Justin? Shoot me a picture. I want to see what scrapers you have. I like the putty knives, the plastic putty knives. I think that's going to be our best, and they're small. Yeah, so he did the last day, he did everything. I just was there in case he had questions. I did our special because we ran a whole new special with the shrimp po' boys. So I was prepping that while he was doing the other stuff.
How'd that go?
It was so good, dude. Oh man, it was tasty.
So good.
The 4 that we were able to do, yes.
4.
Yeah. Hey, you go buy 30 pounds of shrimp. Good quality shrimp.
So I was looking at shrimp the other day, and I saw, it was like $20 for the stuff that's already like peeled and deveined and stuff like that.
I had heads, tails, feet, everything on them. And so that's what I was doing while he was doing it. I was deheading, and which they're half the price. So when I bought the 5 pound, I think it was a 4 pound bag from Costco. It's only about 2 pounds after you take all the stuff off.
Yeah.
So a learning curve. We did not get as many because we made one and split it after we had it, or after we got it done. So we could see how it was. So we made 4 of those sandwiches. Somebody asked if they could get the shrimp on a mac and cheese. It looked really pretty because the shrimp had just enough color on it from the grates, and it looked really, really nice. The people I think we heard back from 2 people that got it that said it was really, really good. Lots of people wanted it at other locations.
Did you no issues obviously holding it?
Well, it was only about a half an hour before they were all gone. But no, it held fine.
Would you have cooked fresh for like a dinner? Like put some in your fridge?
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. Yeah. So we're gonna go to a different. So these were big shrimp. So we were doing 6 to 8 ish in a wrap. So it felt and looked full.
Oh, you were doing it as a wrap.
Yeah. So we did that as a wrap because I didn't want to have it new bread on board too. I mean, we sell 2, and then I still have 6 buns, and we have nothing to use them for. So yeah, we started it with a wrap. So going forward, GFS does have a shrimp product. They're smaller shrimp. They're freeze or thaw, and they're not thaw and eat, but they're thaw and cook.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna go that route. That way we can get a much better visual and a fuller bite of shrimp for roughly the same price, because the smaller the shrimp, the cheaper they are.
Yeah.
So we should be able to offset all of that a little bit. There's Justin sending me scraper pictures, I'm betting. Yep. So you use the metal one then. Okay. I would have thought plastic would have worked better. Because it would have been firmer.
I had an epiphany this week.
Oh.
So we had for a can opener, for a number 10 can opener, I have one it's made by a company called Chef Master. It's like what they call swing away. It's got the big long hand, like and then
put it on the counter. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So then I bought one that was one of the slam ones. The slam ones that then you just couldn't get the damn thing to work at all. So I finally took it apart because I was going to buy a new one. And I'm like, maybe it just doesn't work out right. I'm like, so I started looking at the directions again. We got it to work, but then I couldn't screw the other one in there, so it was a little lopsided. Anyway, there was epiphany. We got it to work.
Excellent. So among our menu changes this year, we decided to make jalapeno cheddar sausage permanent.
Yeah.
With that, the wrap that we used to run as a special, the Abe Froman with the smoked onions, peppers, and nacho cheese, and then added an Angry Mac. Whenever we ran the sausage as a special, on a good day, we'd go through the 10 or 12 links or whatever's in that package. Mm-hmm. We went through 2.5 cases of sausage this week.
Jesus.
No.
I can't go through 2.5 cases of sausage this week.
It was dumb. So we had sausage that we did, and then we had the rest of the package. So it's a 4-pound package or something like that. So about 20 sausages in a package. Yeah. We did half, put the other half in the fridge. It's like, oh, if it's super busy, we'll do the other half for dinner. 3 of those days, those sausages were on before 12 o'clock. Because we were going through them so fast. It's like, what the hell?
Dumb.
Dumb. Yeah. I told Chris, I could go back and look at the food cost numbers because I don't think it's one of our better items. But I wasn't super concerned about it because I was, we'll sell, a few a day.
Yeah.
We had people comment that it's the Angry Mac's their new favorite item.
So you're making 2 mac and cheeses now?
No, same mac and cheese. So with the jalapeno cheddar sausage, we'll still do the drizzle barbecue sauce, but then we go over it with a creamy buffalo sauce too.
Oh, okay.
Heavy on the creamy buffalo, and then onions and jalapenos. People loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
same mac, just toppings.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Toppings to make it hotter, not the mac itself.
I didn't know if it was like the mac and Angry Mac that he used to make all the time. That was
I
had it one
Sean.
Yeah. Time I ever had it because it was burning my mouth off.
Nope, we went with toppings because otherwise, it's more stuff we have to prep and hold.
Yeah.
So
That's cool.
But yeah, all in all, man, a good week. Next week will be, I think next week will be easier. Yeah, I'll be on the trailer at least tomorrow with Troy. Make sure he's good to go. I have to revise his checklist.
Yeah.
And that's what I told him. I said, I have a list and we're kind of working off it. I said, we're going to have to revise it because so much of the stuff is just routine and habit for me that for me to sit down and do the list, I forget things. So we'll get through that. And as long as he's comfortable, I'll sleep in on Tuesday or Wednesday, you know. I got a keypad for the garage door, so he'll be able to throw his number in there and get the stuff he needs. And I told him, I said, you'll probably see me about 5 o'clock on the days that you're here. I'll come in and check in and make sure everything's going well, and I'll be back out of your hair. So
what if he has a problem? How do you get a hold of you? Just text you?
I told him the phone. I give me a call. I said my phone will always wake me up. I said if you have any questions, you're not sure about a brisket, call me. We can always fix it before it's too late.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna let. So my new guy's Matt. He doubles as a Santa Claus.
Excellent.
So he'll definitely bring a lot of cheer around the holiday season.
Christmas in July, you should do something with him.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, put him in a Santa suit up front.
His schedule, yeah. So he's a blue collar guy, owned his own screen printing business. He showed up every day on time, punched in on time, left on time. Stayed a little bit later if I asked him to.
He wasn't like, deuces, man, it's 3 o'clock.
We've only had one issue.
Okay.
So the one issue is he left at 9. Ribs typically come off at like 9:15, somewhere around there. And I thought he had taken them off. He didn't let me know he didn't. We didn't have ribs until 2 o'clock because they got a little burnt. So I was thinking about just doing like a chopped rib Sammy and call it just chop it up, but
yeah,
it was burnt.
Yeah. It was not salvageable. Bubba asked, how many employees have you hired in the past 2 weeks?
Me?
Yeah. You. Yes, you.
Oh boy.
Hello, Mario.
1 for the food truck, 2 for the shop.
Are they all still employed?
They're all still employed.
Excellent. So how many staff are you up to now? How many people do you have on payroll? I think you might be ahead of me.
Hold on. I'm counting.
I can see it.
5.
Okay.
2 for the food truck, including me, 3 for the shop, and then the one guy. So technically 6, including me. But 5 now.
Okay. So with all my additional labor now, according to Square's labor percentage, which is not 100% accurate.
It is. It's not really, no.
So like for Chris. So for Chris, he's salaried, so he's paid for his 40 hours. When you run payroll, it's the 40 hours. Mm-hmm. But he punches in and out so he can collect tips. Mm-hmm. And he likes to track his own hours. So he'll punch in when he gets to the truck at 8 o'clock in the morning, which means he's way over 40 hours. So Square, when their payroll number or their count all those hours, even though it's not a true cost for us. But anyways, with all of Chris's hours, even last week we're at 24 and a half. And that's a normal week for people that we'll have on board. Without Chris's extra hours, it's still about 21. So this will work with my extra people. But we need to have the good weeks. We get into some slow weeks and we're going to have tough weeks, if we get into $9,000 weeks versus $12,000 weeks, things get a whole lot different. So, because Troy's not a position that I'm cutting back unless we're consistently slow.
Yeah.
Like that's an important spot for me to not have to worry about for 4 days out of the week.
Yes.
So,
and
that's
he's only working 4 days.
4 days, 3 to 8. Yeah. So I'm taking the other two. He probably would.
Okay.
But it's $125 a day. So at a point where I'm already have anxiety over the 22% labor that I'm running.
Last week I ran at 14.6.
Okay. And really, if you go and Google what should labor percentages be for restaurants, I mean, we're way below. Most of them will say 27 to 32-ish at the most. So I'm good with it. But when you have such, with him being just built in, like he and Chris, there's no adjusting that really without major changes to me. So those are fixed labor costs for me right now. I'm viewing them as that way. So, especially over the next month with Angie having surgery and here in another week and a half, I cannot be on the trailer. So
no, yeah, you gotta.
Hopefully we have some solid sales weeks those weeks, and I can breathe without anxiety for those 2 weeks.
No,
because I still I got a smoker that I have to make that $10,000 payment on still, and
They only asked for quarter down or third down or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. It was quarter, I think. Yeah, I still owe 10.
We're good. You did a $12,000 week. You're good.
Yay! Look at me rolling around in my money.
So of that, and this is if you can share. I don't know if you've done that. What was your net?
I don't know.
Can you do that for next week?
Sure. I'm not doing solid inventories every week.
No,
so.
I understand, but
I know that you're just figuring your food cost off of receipts at this point for your stuff.
No,
I can give you a rough. So it's 20, let me hold on. Let me do some rough math here. So let's round some numbers. So 12.
Smoke is
there.
coming out of your ears.
Huh?
The smoke is coming out of your ears.
Oh. So 12,000 in sales. Labor, straight labor, with my payroll taxes and everything else, total was 2,500. Actually, I think it was closer to. No, that's right, 25. We're gonna say 2,550. All right. Oh, that was a plus. We need to go minus. Food wise, we spent probably close to 3,500, and a lot of that stuff is still in. Not a lot, but some of that stuff is still in inventory. But we're gonna go ahead and do the full amount. Fuel. We're probably a couple $100 in fuel, so let's say 500 between gas for the truck and gas for the generators and charcoal. There's that. What am I missing? So for just food, cost of food, cost of labor, cost of fuel, those are the three big ones. 5,400 cleared. So that divided by 12, 45%. There's other costs in there for a very rough number. Yeah.
It's basic. I get it.
Yeah. I'm sure you saw my Facebook post about tips towards the end of last week before we opened.
No.
Oh, that was a really good one. Huh?
He's hold. I'll bring it up.
Might have been Monday. I know it was definitely before we opened. It might have been Monday.
I talked to you a few times a week, but you know,
We didn't talk much this week.
you did not.
I was busy.
I texted you though.
I got a lot to do today to get caught up.
Wings were behind, huh?
It was 40 pounds on the smoker. It took a little bit longer. And they were on the wrong side because I had other stuff. Yeah, it was my fault. I mismanaged. Let's see here. There.
March 18th.
It's the one with the screaming. So yeah, March 17th, Monday.
Happy St. Patty's Day.
Yep. Share your screen. Show the class.
Please hold me.
And then after that, we're probably going to wrap it up for the day, everybody.
Okay. Share screen.
Chris said he was secretly worried about my post and the effect it might have.
So happy St. Patrick's Day and happy Food Truck Season Eve. This picture below is something you will never see at our trailer. While we do offer the option for tipping, it is never expected, demanded, or something that we feel entitled to. The fact that you are at our establishment spending any portion of your hard-earned money is amazing and something that we are truly grateful for. We would much rather you come and get what you'd like than feel you can't afford it because of some predetermined mandatory tip. No matter what, you'll get the same great service and food. No, by the way, it's supposed to be NOW. Or KNOW, I should say.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be now.
Yeah. Now, if you'd like to leave a tip, you're more than welcome to. More than welcome to do that as well. But please know, from the bottom of our hearts, no means required. We love you all. We want to see you as much as possible. We hope to see you all over the next couple of years.
So Chris told me he was secretly worried that no one was going to tip.
So I don't like this sentence right here. Why would you put in there about a predetermined mandatory tip?
It has been a hot topic item in all the restaurant groups on this side of the state. That exact thing. I can't afford to go out to eat anymore because of a 30% mandatory tip, essentially. Like 30% has become the base level for tipping.
What's mandatory? There's no
Everybody
isn't mandatory to begin with.
I know, but people feel obligated to do it. I don't. It's not. When was the last time you went out and didn't tip your server?
I always do, but that's what I choose to do. It's a choice. I tip carryout orders.
So do I.
Okay, but it's a choice. I don't have to.
But other people don't feel like it is. They feel it's required. So anyways.
Jim, I will continue to tip with a sampler packet of Flat Company, dark and smoky.
Yeah.
And you don't regularly carry it. It is a perfect marriage of all things barbecue.
Yeah, we met him at a farmer's market a couple of years ago. Yep, and he'll drop off like a little dime bag. Anyways, so yeah, but I'm happy to say that if anything, tips were up this last week over normal weeks. So
I'll take a 5-star Google review over a tip any day.
Well, and I would say that too, but I don't collect any of the tips. So, which then I understand it makes it a whole lot easier for me to say that with the possibility of it affecting tips. But Chris is in agreement. It's better for everybody for them to come and buy something and not tip than avoid it because they think it's going to cost them 20% more even, and people think that it's less, they feel more obligated because it pops up on a screen now. Like it's part of your transaction versus.
So take it off the screen.
Will you just listen to me?
Sorry.
Instead of when you were just at a restaurant and it's just on a paper slip, it's right there. It flashes in front of your eyes. So I think for a lot of people, it feels more obligatory and it's everywhere, and I think that's another part of it where people are just so sick of it being everywhere. You're tipping at a drive-through at Starbucks. You're tipping everywhere.
So the coffee shop, obviously their employees collect tips, credit card and cash.
Mm-hmm.
The coffee shop has a something built into their payment or their payroll system that each person gets a minimum $3 an hour tipped wage as in case they don't meet X amount of tips. So they're giving them if they don't hit tips, it's like an extra $3 an hour. Guaranteed.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
So
I just pay them the extra $3 an hour.
Because it's fucking stupid. Because they want somebody else to do it for them.
Yeah.
So why don't you change your tip screen to dollar amounts instead of percentage amounts? Like $1, $2, $3.
I don't.
If
I think for the majority of our customers, it doesn't matter, But I think there are definitely people out there that are very budget conscious minded that do think that way. It's because you go out to dinner, you do the math before you go. Oh, okay, so it's $100 meal for the two of us, plus another 30%. Like everybody does the math when you have to think about money. Justin says, I think the only tip situation is when you're being waited on at a sit-down restaurant. I don't necessarily disagree. For me, is the person that's helping me make the experience better. Did they provide me assistance in some way?
Do you think
I think our staff, they provide additional value to the experience of coming to us. We are inherently different than you ordering at the counter at McDonald's and McDonald's asking you for a tip. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It is part of the ambiance of what we are. So, which is why I get it. Our friend Sean he says, if I have to pick my own food up or if I'm ordering at a counter, you're not getting a tip. He's not necessarily wrong. I can't tell him he's wrong. I get it. But did somebody make your evening better? A person make your evening better by the conversation they had or the experience they provided? That's where I judge mine. I don't always give tips for food trucks or for those others like Starbucks or whatever. Don't always do it. Sometimes I do. I am 100% merit based on my tipping. I will always give a tip at a restaurant, but it's a scale. I'm never a set. I'm always tipping 25% or whatever. I have a scale in my head, and it's based on the level of service that's provided to me. So, all right, let's get out of this conversation and off to our days. I got stuff to do. I got shopping to do. I got a smoker to light.
Yeah, you do.
Skippy's got to get prepped for a busy day at the shop and the trailer. Full week of making people happy. Right?
I still got to get 2 health inspections done.
Before April 30th. I have to finish my application for my Grand Rapids food truck license before the end of this week. So I've started it. I just got to finish. All right, buddy. Have a good week. We'll see you next Monday. I will try to get this posted before Friday this week. It was a little crazy last week. Yes, our last episode got posted Friday. I was busy. So everybody have a good week. We will talk to you next week, Monday, same time, same place. Peace out, everybody. Deuces. close this and live and stream. End it all. Goodbye. Peace out, homies.